What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my unimpressive collection. Today we are going to be talking about an excellent record called Master Killer by the famous Marauder. They were a band from New York, Brooklyn, I believe. Mostly popular, or at least in the beginning, early 90s to the mid 90s was when they were really, in my opinion, in their prime. They have definitely regained popularity. I can't say that I've really seen them much around in the last few years, but definitely in like the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s, early 2010s to mid 2010s, like that whole decade, they definitely kind of like resurged in popularity and were playing a lot of hardcore shows, a lot of fests. They were touring. I saw them a few times. And yeah. But yeah, Marauder is a very, very well respected, highly regarded, influential metalcore band. They're I don't consider myself somebody that listens to a lot of metalcore, and Marauder is definitely one of those bands that's just like so excellent and so genuine in their sound that I kind of give it a pass. It's metalcore, but it is some fucking incredible shit. So yeah, to say that Marauder is like your average metalcore band, no. Marauder's Marauder. Okay, you can't fuck with them. You can't really place them in the metalcore genre like with all the others. They kind of stand alone. And I think the reason for that is because Marauder were definitely a hardcore band, but they truly incorporated the musicianship of like death metal into their sound perfectly. Like they were a perfect blend of hardcore and death metal. And that's where you get metalcore. But it's not like, I was going to say it's not like, tough guy Jersey wearing metalcore, but, to be honest, it absolutely is. But not in the way where you would be like, oh, this is generic, just like one chug the whole. It's not like that. It's like unbelievable musicianship, unbelievable songwriting. Everything about it is just really, really spectacular shit. So, yeah, Marauder did 3 full-length albums, actually 4 if you count their, comeback album, I'll call it, God Is I, which came out in like the late 2000s, I believe, somewhere around then. But in the 90s up until like the mid 2000s, Marauder did 3 albums. And this, Master Killer, is the first of those full lengths. And in my opinion, it remains as their best album. They did 5 Deadly Venoms after that. Excellent album. Brutality came out later. I think Brutality honestly has some incredible riffs on it, some great songs, but that's kind of like where I drop off a little bit. I don't think Brutality is anything incredible, but if you take it outside of the rest of Marauder's catalog, it's still a pretty sick album. But yeah, let's just talk about Master Killer, because Master Killer is my favorite Marauder record, and I think it's incredible. So this copy that I'm holding is actually a reissue. For those of you in the know, this is not the original artwork, but it is pretty great artwork. This is the Reaper Records reissue. Now I'm trying to remember when this came out. I want to say it probably came out in like 2010, 2011, but I could be totally wrong about that. This is like updated artwork. It's got like a kind of like samurai skeleton dude in the middle here with like a bunch of other like skeletons and demons around them with like awesome cool weapons and shit. There's like a pumpkin head guy with like a like an Uncle Sam hat, which is pretty funny. Great artwork for a reissue. A lot of reissues, in my opinion, don't look so good. This one does. I think it's awesome. On the back, you got a cool photo of Marauder. Looking hard as shit, as always. This is like... This album is a... I don't like to use this term, but I will because it's Marauder. But this is an ass beater of a record. Like, this record, you feel like you're getting your fucking ass beat while you're listening to it. And, like, yeah. If you've heard it, you know exactly what I'm talking about because Marauder is just, like, just pure... It's like beatdown, but it's, like, good beatdown. It's like, you know, beatdown, I think of, like, just... Dun, 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 dun. You're not going to find a single generic riff on this, and that's because Marauder basically invented these types of hardcore death metal infused riffs. Like Saab, Marauder's guitarist, like he is the reason for that. If anybody's ever played a hard riff and it's called beatdown, like I don't even give a shit who came before Marauder. Okay, I lied. There's some death metal that came before Marauder that's, you know, you credit that shit too, for sure. But whatever, we're talking about Marauder. We're talking about hardcore. Okay? So I'll go into the guitar work on this album. So, you know, as I said, it's New York hardcore, it's metalcore. But the thing that makes this record so great is Saab's guitar playing. Okay, Saab, as I said earlier, is Marauder's guitarist. Think, you know, they're like insanely hard riffs, super heavy. You could literally just die just listening to it. But the musicianship, the guitar solos, like, they're almost atmospheric in a way. Real terrifying sounding, but just very, very incredibly crafted. Think like if Bill Steer from Carcass was, you know, in Marauder. I kind of get that vibe. Like, you know, that kind of like guitar solo over like a hard ass mosh riff. You don't hear that all the time, and that's because not every band is Marauder. But yeah, a part of me really wants to compare Saab's guitar playing to Bill Steer. No, take it for what it is. That's my opinion. But anyway, let's go into the track listing because every song on this album is special. Time Ends, the ultimate intro track to a heavy metalcore record. Starts out with this weird, like, kind of swingy drum beat, like... You know, you can kind of, like... It's pretty cool. Very unique, honestly. Like, you know, nobody has to play a you know, fancy, schmancy drum beat like that. But they did. It's a really, really good intro. And then it instantly goes into this. Any Marauder fan knows those two notes. Just 1, 0. Simple but iconic. Right when those notes go in, you hear Jorge Rosado, the vocalist of Marauder, just go. And they've got all like the kind of the perfect echo on the vocals. It just, okay. It's scary. It's scary to listen to Marauder. I'll just come right out and say it. They're a band that it's scary listening to them. You could listen to like Madball, or you could listen to like Breakdown, or like, you know, a number of other New York hardcore bands. And it's like, yeah, this is hard, you know. I'm never scared when I listen to Madball. I'm never scared when I listen to Breakdown. That's more like, you know, you can kind of bounce up or down. When I listen to Marauder, I'm scared. I'm like, okay, demons are going to come through my door and suck my soul out of my stomach. You know, when you hear Jorge's yell, yeah, it's scary. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Next song, Life is Pain. Oh, I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Time Ends just has a bunch of incredible riffs after that. Great lyrics, just completely nihilistic, like hateful lyrics. Very personal. You can kind of, you know, feel the. I'm getting sidetracked now. I'm talking about lyrics. Let's move on. Life is Pain. Speaking of lyrics, Life is Pain is the second track on Marauder Master Killer. Life is Pain is one of the most well-known Marauder tracks. You know, if you wanted to like joke about Marauder, you'd be like, life is fucking pain. Well, yeah, that's a well-known Marauder line. Life is pain. It doesn't really get more straightforward than that, but Jorge came up with that, and it is those are words to live by. Life is pain. They sum up Marauder's message right there. Life is pain. This is another track that's just like chock full of riffs. The most memorable one I can think of is the breakdown riff. And then they got the bass line. It is perfect heavy metal hardcore. There's a number of other excellent tracks on this. Mirror Shows Black. Your mirror shows black. But yeah, even just me humming the riffs, you can get a sense. Those are some excellent riffs, and honestly, that's the first time any band ever really played riffs like that, like in a hardcore band, you know? Excellent. Master Killer, title track. I am the Master Killer, fall to me. They actually did a music video for Master Killer, and it had, you know, I don't know, the dude that's doing like ninja and like, you know, nunchucks or whatever in the video kind of reminds me of the main guy Chong Li from Bloodsport. You know, it might even be that same fucking guy. I don't know. But he kind of reminds me of that dude. You know, it's just the band, and I think Jorge's actually sitting in a throne or something like that in the video. And, you know, the band's looking hard, Saab's looking hard, playing his guitar with his long-ass hair. And then, yeah, there's just, like, shots of this dude doing, like, you know, Muay Thai or, like, whatever the fuck those dudes are into. It's a great video. Very 90s. You get a 90s feel. Just look it up on YouTube. Watch the video for Master Killer. It's awesome. Downfall of Christ, another classic. Dun, 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 dun. It's the downfall of Christ. Just riffs upon riffs upon riffs. In the grand tradition of me talking about records, I usually just don't even talk about the B-side, because I have a short attention span, and by the time we get to side B of a record, no matter how good the songs are, I'm just going to consider them filler because I've already listened to side A. I'm done, right? But yeah, the side B of this album does feature Take by Force. Starts out with a great drum intro. Great riffs, excellent drumming. Yeah, it's just fantastic. So I'm going to go and wrap this up. I've gone through the track listing. I've talked about the record. I've talked about the riffs and, you know, some of the band members. I just want to say that, you know, while I normally don't listen to a lot of metalcore, I'll just recap that this is the exception. Marauder Master Killer. It is a phenomenal album. Check it out if you don't know about it, especially if you listen to more punk-oriented hardcore. Give this a chance because it is phenomenal, and hey, you're probably going to like it because it's excellent. All right? I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks a lot.